Instagram, right? And now we're just starting our Reels, and like Tammy mentioned, our TikTok as well. So again, this is all done with Canva. They do have a stock video library. It's pretty basic, but they do have it there with some pretty good footage that's formatted in different ways and all that. So you can do that as well. But since we're starting here, I know we had an agent who really wanted to jump in on this one, but I'm not seeing them on here, so maybe they'll come in late. But anyways, this is what Canva looks like. You can see here that they have a dashboard where it has your designs that you've been working on, templates, holidays coming up, so it kind of gives you some ideas here. We'll start from the basics, I guess, here, and that is, I guess, creating an image, a social media image, right? So for your marketing and all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and prep ourselves for that. So if you noticed earlier, I downloaded the One Summit logo material, which is going to give you the blank images, or the images with the logo and a white background, and also the logos with a transparent background. Let me just minimize all this right here. If I go into my downloads folder on my PC, which is yours, will probably show up there as well. There is going to be this zip form, right? So this is what's going to be on. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop this into my desktop area just so I have easy access. I'm going to make a new folder called Logo Kit. Let's name it ROGS Logos. Just like so. Then I'm going to take that folder I just moved and put it in here, because when we unzip it, it's going to unzip all the files in it. So extract all, extract it right into the same folder. And now that will give it to us just like so. We see here JPG, this is going to be with the white background, Realty One Group Summit right there. And PNGs with the transparent background, which we have different colors, fonts, and access to that. They're all from Realty One Group corporate, so they're branded and compliant. So now that we have that set up, we can go ahead and jump back into Canva and work with what they have. So I'm going to start a brand new design, right? I'm going to say this is going to be an Instagram post for my Instagram. Nice and square. Already has the cropping, and we're going to play with that here. So let's just say an example would be just listed, right? Hey, just listed or just sold. That's pretty typical. So what I'm going to do here is they have templates already for you on the left-hand side. So it gives you an idea of what to work with in terms of fonts and all that. Let's see, we're looking for let's do a real estate. Let's see if they have anything for real estate, right? Just type that in. We do. So this one looks nice. We'll go ahead and jump here. We'll pretend like this is our house that we just listed. I already got us image, and we're going to make this, we're going to rogify it essentially. Now, if you do want to upload your own pictures or your own images, it's going to be on this side right over here, which is going to be upload. You can upload media from our computer. This is actually where we're going to upload our logos, so we have access to them in there. Let me go ahead and go to Logo Kit, which I just made. Highlight this all, open it up. And as you see here, it's going to start putting it in our kind of image bank area. You also have spots for videos and audio as well to upload into Canva. So we're going to do this again, step by step. What I want to do is essentially take this logo that I want. I'm going to put it on, right, the branding right here. Let's go ahead and do all this. Go to One Summit. Everything is pretty much templated. You can kind of move around and do it yourself, change it, delete it, all that. It just gives you a template, and then you can change it yourself, right? Which I do a lot, quite a bit, just to kind of save time. So let's go ahead and start messing with the colors. We're going to jump over here into once you click on an element, it's going to give you the option to change the color. So when I click on this gray spot right here, it shows me the color pool. And then here I have raw primary, but if you guys don't know what the colors are, if you go back to the one branding, if you go to the logo tab, styling. If you go to styling, you can actually see our specific color codes for Realty One Group. White and black are pretty, standard here, but the gold is important. That is a unique code and that is for the Realty one gold. So you can kind of punch that in to get the right colors. So we jump back into Canva. So I'm gonna make this, let's do this black, right? Now I'm gonna take everything that was yellow and make it gold. And this is kind of an interesting piece. So say I don't like it. I'm just gonna delete it. There you go. Change this to gold just like so. So now it already looks like it's Realty One Group branded, but you can even play around with it some more. If you want to jump, and we're going to go through this step by step right here on this tab. We're going to go ahead and we're just in photos, right? They do have their own stock photos that you can pump in there as well. Let's say if I use house, you know, I have access to quite a bit. So if I were just to take that, click and drag it, and maybe expand it so it fits the image cropping well, but you can kind of see right there. And they also have their elements, which are going to be the stickers and or graphics or frames for anything to edit with the Canva section right here. So let's actually, and then we have text, which is going to be fonts, of course, styles, and all that. So let's see. Let's just say this is going to be open house, right? Say open house. Go ahead and edit text. So open house. Sometimes if it's grouped together like this, you can hit ungroup at the top, and that way that will give you a little bit more customization to play around with this. You'll feel like you're locked in. They do have spots where you can change your fonts, just like that. Museo Sans, right? That's the Realty One font. Wheelan is also Realty One font as well. If you want to know how to access that, it's actually again going to be in your one guidelines. There's stylings, and you can download all the fonts right there. Wheelan and Museo Sans, Slab, etc., etc. Easy access all in one central area. So let's say we're going to stay with that. Let's see what's the date. So it's March 8th, March 9th. Let's pretend we have an open house today. Open house, March. Okay, now see, have you noticed that there is sometimes when you have the white on the white there, it might kind of be a little hard to read. What we can do is actually click on that, add an effect, and give it a shadow. And on that shadow color, we're going to make it black. That's going to give it a little bit more pop, so you can kind of stand out. A quick little trick to kind of get that extra emphasis on your graphics there. They also have, as you saw, other effects, splice curve, etc., etc. Pretty customizable. It's a lot of room to play around with, so you can spend a lot of time here and have quite a bit of fun. But let's go ahead. We have open house, right? I think right here would be a good spot for a headshot, for example. So if I go into my photos, I actually have a folder that I put headshots in, especially when I welcome new agents. So let's go ahead and we'll use Grant, right? We'll use Grant. He doesn't look too happy. He's got to come to an open house, spend his Tuesday afternoon in an open house. So we're going to put it right here. He's not too happy about it. But hey, he's an agent. He's got to get that. He's got to do what he's got to do, fiduciary responsibilities for his clients. So we're going to put that right here. And it's kind of sticking out. What I'm gonna do is actually kind of like frame it, for example. I'm actually gonna jump into the elements here where we have all the graphics. We do obviously animated stickers. I'm gonna come into the shapes, and what I'm gonna do is already has a gold for me, okay? I'm actually gonna jump in here and put this in the back of Grant. So you see I just pick position in the back. Now I'm gonna actually kind of like frame it so it looks like it's got its own spot, and it's meant to be there. I did see something come up on the chat. Let me check that out real quick here. Yeah, there are. We're actually going to get into that right here. So Brandon's asking if there are any specific requirements to include broker agent info for marketing. Yes. In order to be compliant, as you saw here, we do have a Realty Mortgage Summit, right? So that is one of them. You also need your brokerage, which that counts as it right there, and your license number. So essentially, you need the brokerage, Realty Mortgage Summit, and the logo. So this is nice because it puts it all in one. And then also you need your real estate number. So for example, we have the logo right here. And say I want to put the information, usually you'll put it next to your headshot for quick, easy access for the potential clients or customers to see, for the general public to see. So in order to add that, right, what I'm going to jump is now go to the text option, add a heading. You can do subheadings and all that, but I usually just stick with heading. And I'm actually going to pull this down right here. I'm going to make it right here. So let's just say this is Grant Prindle, right? Real estate number, let's see, what is it? DRE, I'll call 5555. We'll just make a big one, punch it in there. I can scale this down a bit so it all fits properly, just like this. And then scale this down here, Grant Prindle. 55555. You can also put your contact information, which of course you want to do. It'll find. And then you can say ROGS. ROGS. Just some fake contact info right there. So you have access to that. You might want to go ahead and snap this into position, which is going to be here to make it a little bit more clean. And let's see. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad right there. Grant Prindle, easy to read. We have our logo, which makes it compliant. We have our name. We have our license number, contact information, and actually, I do think you are. Don't recall if you're actually required to say Realtor on your marketing. So you have to look at that. You guys are wondering how I did that Realtor copyright symbol. You hold Alt, press 0174, and that is the shortcut for that. It punches it in automatically. I don't know how I remember that. It's one of the few things I remember for being an agent in Arizona. That is one of them right there. So we have, let's see here. What I want to, this is a good spot to do something. Let's just say, let's see. What can we write here? Just knock that out, yes. Oh, I guess we said 3-bedroom. Something. 3-bed, 2-bath. Go ahead and do that. We'll change the font again so it all kind of matches. Just a bit so it all fits in there. So as you can see, most of the stuff is pretty much click and drag. You can kind of play around with it to get exactly your specifications. So now essentially we created a marketing piece. We have everything that's required to be compliant, and then you can, of course, you want to spruce it up a bit if you can, like the black here, it's nice, but it still kind of seems a little bit empty. So what we can do, what I like to do here is I have some of my own uploads that I pull from the branding site, which are the raw gold brush strokes, which you can pull. Let me jump into that here. But come down to styling, you can see you actually have the brush strokes right here and the textures as well. The textures are super cool. I really like that a lot. It gives it your marketing pieces a little extra, I think, professional quality. And what I mean by that is I'll show you right here. Instead of this just standard black, right, I'm actually going to make this like a brick. Let's just grab this brick texture that I got from the branding section. I'm going to make sure it covers up all the marketing. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on position. I'm going to say to back and send it to the back, right? So now it's the very backmost image. So everything else is overlaid on top of it with all the other overlayers and layers. So now instead of a just plain black, we now have a black kind of brick format. So you still have that Realty One Group black color, that Realty One Group vibe, but it kind of gives you a little extra professional, in my opinion, a little extra quality, right? As well, we also have the gold textures right here. So let's just say I wanted to pull this one and replace that top. Let's see here. I'm going to shrink this a bit. Essentially, what I want to do is take this up here. And now the white is kind of hard to read, so I'll just change the color. Let's do black here. Do that to white, just like that. Okay. We do the same thing for Grant's frame that I made earlier. What I like to do is just take it, snap it in position, just like that. And then I'll come back to the position and I'll say backward, just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're ready to rock and roll. We got a little bit more texture, a little bit more depth into our image. And let's see here, what else we got? We have the brush strokes. Now, I really like the brush strokes. I like to use them as, like I mentioned earlier, kind of framing it all together and giving it one kind of concise feel. So with these, I don't like, you can do whatever you like, but I like to put this one at the top right here, just like that. And then I'll grab like another brush stroke, maybe. Grab this one. And what I can do here is I'll flip this, right? Flip horizontal. Let's see. I actually want it coming across, so oops. Let's kind of drag this like so. I'm going to rotate, it's going to snap into 90 degrees just like that. Then I'm going to place it in right there. So now this is very similar to what I have usually my kind of go-to formatting when it comes to that. When it comes to my post right here, for example, you see that there's a similar, I have a broad brush right here, right there. Then for our quotes, et cetera, et cetera, I kind of follow that similar marketing style. So I start to develop a brand or a certain look. So when someone, if they kind of scroll on the Instagram feed, they'll subconsciously see that, hey, that's Realty Group something right there. So I jump back into Canva. So now we have our open house. I can make this bigger if I wanted to, like boom, open house. I know a lot of people like that. Put it on there and make it extravagant. Now you can also do this with just listed, just sold, pretty simple. You can play around with a lot of stuff in there as well. So that's just one example of the marketing. This is a standalone image that you can use for your Instagram feed, right? So what I'm going to do here now is actually going to show you how to make an animated image and or video, which is very appealing to today's millennial generation, right? And just what you want to grab their attention. So this piece is made up. What I'm going to do is we're going to make a new one, and we're going to make it for like the formatting of a TikTok, an Instagram story, and or a reel. It's all different. If you come back here to your dashboard, right here it can say, what do you want? You want an Instagram post? You want an Instagram story? Instagram story is formatted to be for Instagram story, like it says, the reels, and it works for TikTok as well. You see here, one of the ones that I have is going to be the TikTok, which we feel to load, but we'll go ahead and start from scratch as well. So it's going to give me this blank image like we've worked with before. What I can do is they have templates for it as well. Let's just do this one. Let's just say this one's going to be about you're the best buyer's agent there is, and you'll find houses that don't exist, blah, blah, blah. You can go above and beyond for your clients, right? So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing real quick. We're going to change the colors up a bit just so I can get into that ROG mode. So let's just knock that style. Let's just keep it all. Just like that. Okay, so I want, I'm going to be the agent that everyone wants to see. So again, we'll come here, go to our uploads. In my folders section, we have my logos right here. So I'm going to snag some, of course. pump that right there. Actually, we'll bring this to the top. Sometimes it does that because it wants to, it thinks you want to replace that image. It does that. I just delete this. Yeah, because it's a frame. We'll have to look at that. But I want to get into my headshots, right? Headshots. We'll use Grant again. As being a realtor, unfortunately, I can see real. Oh, you know, that should just be a good spot. We just talked about frames, so let's kind of, we'll do this, right? We'll make a circle image. If you guys are, sometimes a lot of people wonder, how do I do a circle image, right? If you come to your elements, and you click on frames, whatever you put in that frame is going to match that shape. So when I punch circle, I'm going to drop it right here. I'm going to go back to where I had Grant. And if I click his picture and I grab it and drag it into the circle, now we have a circle image just like that. Then with that, I like to use the ROGS circles that they have provided. Again, kind of a frame. Oh, position this to the back. Size of it. Go. Just like that. Okay. He is the buyer's agent extraordinaire. Great. Drop this down. Black. That way on our logos. Then you punch in necessary information, but again, the basis of this example is animated, make an animator, right? If you come over here on their elements, you see that there's some that are recently used. You can just quickly type in animated, like that. And then give you these animated stickers you can drag and drop, just like that. If you want to do something like that, or, but I think the important part is, or the really cool feature that Canva has is their video section, which if I come over here and click on videos, they have a whole bunch of stock videos that you can just select and use for your marketing. So let's say we did buyer's agent, right? I wonder if I can do real estate. Let's see what real estate is. Okay, looks like we got some images of houses right here. We're gonna pump it in, put it in the frame, just like that, really simple. So now we have a combination of video and still images that we can use for our Instagram story, our Reels, and our TikTok. This is a combination that is used pretty good. It's used in conjunction. You have necessary information right here, which stays still and won't be missed. Or you can overlay it at the top. For example, instead of having Realty One Group up here, I'm actually going to take it to the top. think I'm not going to go my way up there. It usually doesn't do this, but you know, this is the issues we have with templating and being an online-based web editor or graphic process. Sometimes it doesn't work. You can see I can kind of finagle my way up there without it snapping. But it does get lost in that, in the whiteness, right? So let's do this. We're going to add an effect. Let's do shadow on that. I'm not sure. What I can do is add a graphic. I'll bring it back there. Come back to elements. Exit out of this. I'll do a standard shape. Let's do this one. See how it's not going to get now? So colors. Let's see. What do we have? We had it black, right? So let's do black. Colors, just like that. Position, backward. Okay, awesome. We got nice little. What about the top there? We're to summit. I'm gonna take this. Oh, I see. Gotcha. So, okay. Again, like I mentioned earlier, you can use a different texture for that black, which I quite a bit. I'm going to go back to that brick that I have here. Okay, just like that. And we have kind of a unique looking image video that we have there. You punch in our necessary information like DRE number and all that right there. You can put in some more text at the top if you wanted to, and overlay it. You can do that. You can also do that with the Reels and TikTok feature as well. But the cool thing is, you can also, even on top of all that, even with your still images, you'll notice here there's a spot that says animate. And what animate does, it actually takes each individual element and throws it in a certain animation, just like I mentioned. So let's see here. Let's do baseline, for example, right? Look at that. That was pretty slick. Some are free, which are these top right here. There's some for their premium version. This is free. This one looks nice. Just like that. Baseline looks cool. Pump it in there just like that. And so you have your still images are animated, and you also have animated video. And in order to preview this, there's a button at the top there which says play. This is what it's going to look like. Boom. It's pretty slick. It's pretty eye-catching. You can have, of course, put more formatting to talk about if you want to say you're a buyer's agent, you're a guy, your open house, this is your community. You can also do this all in different formats, a regular Instagram post. You can do the animation without the video if that's what you wanted to do as well. Like, for example, if I come here and do animate on the previous, I'll do, let's see, we did baseline, let's do catcher. Boom, open house coming soon, right? Boom. Just like that. It's quick and easy. You can also, like you said, have that for a still image. And the cool thing is when you download it, you have the option to either come as an MP4 video, or you can even do it as a GIF. And, you know, GIFs keep replaying as it goes on, right? So when you have it, and the GIF sometimes, what is interesting, like in Twitter, in Instagram, a lot of the users will have a feature that says don't automatically play videos, right? So if you have a video, then they're going to scroll past it, and nothing's going to move. But if it's a GIF, most of the time it kind of gets around that video stipulation because it's technically not a video. So it kind of starts playing anyways. That's just a little kind of trick to outplay the algorithms there. But like I mentioned, there's the video, there's the GIF, friends. So now, if you, of course, you spend some more time in it, you can get a lot of different features. I'll kind of come into the previous examples that I mentioned earlier. We have one on our Reels page, right? So here is yesterday's that I did with Canva, right? I use stock image. This is Monday motivation. Looks pretty clean. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of that one. It looks good. I think it's visually appealing, visual stunning. All stock images, stock photos, videos from Canva. This is again the video formatting. This is splicing. This is a combination of TikTok. I made 4 separate videos and threw them all into TikTok and spliced them all together. So hey, look, there's Brandon right there. With Erica, and I used videos from Realty Group, and there's our book right there. This one is really cool for, we have the animation there with the videos as well. Again, I have the framing of the rock gold rush, the rock brush strokes. So I'm kind of developing that marketing, or developing that brand for Realty Group Summit. So people are going to see that and say, okay, I see it. I get the recognition. This is obviously something that has been planned out and not just thrown together. Again, this is TikTok here. This one is with just standard imagery, standard Instagram formatting. I did have some song. You can actually add sound to that as well if I wanted to. Let's see. There's an option right here. And here, music, right? So they have some of their own. Let's just do. Let's see. Let's play it. Let's see this one. Okay, that's a little crazy. I'm not sure you want to do that. But you can upload your own music if you have your own copyright-free stuff. You can upload it in there as well, or you can. Here's a cool little trick you can do: is say you want to do, say you had a voiceover, right? You can do that yourself. Audio. You would record yourself on your device, if that's a computer, a voice memo. Find the file and upload it into there. So you can say, hey, you can have your own voice to do that. So that's a little trick that people can do as well. Use it as an audio, and you kind of go from there. So Canva has a lot of features that it you have to kind of dig into to get the most out of it. But it's pretty awesome. It's pretty amazing. So I think we're about pushing to the hour mark here, and you guys are still with me this whole way of the video. So I appreciate you guys sticking along. One thing I want to mention is, if you go on our social medias and you say, hey, John, how did you do this one? If there's a certain piece that you like, go ahead and email me, message me, and I'll be more than happy to kind of show you exactly step by step how to do that. It's a little difficult coming with things up on the fly without having like the direction of what you want to get into. Because usually my typical flow of creating a piece is, I find my theme of what I want to accomplish, what's my message, and then I'll kind of start working on that. So I have a little bit more of direction as to what we're going to do. But yeah, so if you see something you like, feel free to let me know, and I'll do the best you can. I'm going to send these actually to Grant. I'm going to delete the realtor off and say, hey, dude, just want to let you know the issues. That's an example. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, though, right now, feel free to type them in chat or unmute yourself and ask. This is being recorded, and it will be uploaded into our Facebook and our YouTube as well. So you get access to kind of come back into that and use that for your leisure. The one thing with the music, though, is you don't have to use Canva. You can just upload the video here into One Summit, right, or Reels, and they have their own music bank. Same thing for TikTok. This one, if you see this,
erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs.
So just the
elevator don't go.
Whereas for this one, what did I use?
I turned up to the dinner party in my oldest pair of jeans. The kind of ripping that seems the only pair.
versus if I jump over to TikTok, I can use, they don't. It's kind of interesting what platforms don't have those restrictions. Come over here to my profile.
He was running from our cop.
I use the views. So again, it's one of those things where you can, they call it, there's a certain term for it, but you make something, you can syndicate it or distribute it to multiple platforms and use it in different fashions. So it's all right here. So you see here again. Anyways, thank you again for watching, and let me know if you guys have any questions, so please shoot me a message.